Brosplay! Let's think about what we're gonna do here. I like the shotgun, but I think I'm gonna take this. I can make it! Yes.
Ooh.
Do you hear my arms?
I did.
Buckle a little bit?
I was just watching, you don't know what I was just watching. That's how you communicate ideas, is with your words.
By telling me what you're watching.
Yeah. I was just watching, for the second time, The Force Awakens. Have you seen it for the second time?
I have not seen it for the second time. I actually, I'm going to admit something here. I didn't even know Mark Hamill was in that movie. I fell asleep before Luke came into it.
He's really just hinted at, like, it's a cameo more. It's a cameo to what is hopefully going to be
an actual role,
a full role. So the two of us watched it when we were in bad places in our life, and we were both more focused on what was happening outside of the theater than the movie we were watching.
And that really dampens it.
Yeah, so we both went in there expecting a lot, and walked out and said, meh. And it's because we were both just way more focused on things we were worried about. You were worried about, I think, a school project, and I was worried about being accepted on my lease.
Yeah, movies are supposed to be a distraction, but when the other things going on are too distracting.
Yeah, so I'm worried about, like, getting a phone call saying, you have to go find another place, bitch.
You filthy Kurr.
You filthy fucking casual, get out of my apartment. And, yeah, so I watched it for the second time, and I'm in a good place now, and I'm not distracted by a bunch of stupid bullshit. And it's really good, dude. It's really good. It's got so many callbacks and references to the original movie.
Yeah, it's so much more fundamental.
Yeah, but not in a game stop, not in like a plot stopping idea.
Jesus,
I was just watching Expendables 2, and Arnie's in the second one, and I was like, oh, cool. And then it was all going and moving along fantastic, and then somebody makes a fucking reference to the Terminator. I'm just like, this is so out of place. Like, we know why he's here. You don't have to remind me that he's in this movie because he was also in the Terminator.
That was in Expendables?
Yeah.
The second one?
Yeah, one of them says, like, you're going to be terminated, and says it right to him. And that was so... It pulled me out. I went from believing Arnie's character, which he did almost nothing to make me believe, but they sucked me back out of the movie by
reminding you.
Yeah, a reference to the first movie would have been fine, even if it was shameless. But a reference to a movie that is not even made by the same fucking people, that's a load of shit. And it took me out. Like, I was just like, oh, right, I'm watching a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And it ruined it, and I stopped watching it. So I was like, fuck this. Also, Liam Hemsworth dies really early, and I was
what?
Unhappy, but...
In Expendables 2?
Yeah.
Liam Hemsworth?
Yeah.
Is he in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the newbie. He's the new guy, the new kid. He's a sniper.
I barely even remember that. Oh, maybe. But what I do remember is Chuck Norris being in it, and I just went, nah, fuck this.
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as Chuck Norris was in there, I was like, oh! I see what this movie is.
Dude, where the fuck is this guy?
Dude, there he is. But dude, The Force Awakens is so fucking good, man. It's like really good. It's got epic music. It uses the same style and tone of the original. It's filmed with the same the same measurement, like in millimeters on film. I think it's filmed with film. It's done in the same aspect ratio. It's got the same structure to its act. I mean, the plot is right out of the original Star Wars. It's essentially just like a beefed up version of the original. But it's supposed to be kind of like a reboot because we're now ahead of the old movies. Mm-hmm. And it's supposed to be telling us, like, forget everything you know about the old Star Wars. The new Star Wars is here.
This is the Star Wars now.
Yeah, and
I don't think I can get up there.
You might need to use, I think, the stairs. Turn to your right. I think there's a staircase that brings you up there.
Okay. Let me first start by staying alive, and then we will...
I'm really happy to see that this is actually becoming difficult.
Yeah, because the Los Muertos really don't put up much of a fight. Woo. This is where they spawn. I love the laughing of this enemy. This enemy is actually kind of terrifying.
Yeah. But yeah, just generally wonderful. And interesting thing about how we were both not really paying attention to the movie is that's the first of 2 Isaac Oscar movies in a row that I went to see in theaters and was more distracted.
God, he was in that.
I was more distracted by my own life than the movie. Because the second one was X-Men Apocalypse. And I was, for some reason, more concerned that you and Dad weren't enjoying the movie. Which is such a stupid thing to be sitting in the middle of a movie.
Worried about whether others are enjoying the movie?
Yeah. And I think it's probably because I suggested we go see the movie, so I felt like responsible.
Partially responsible
for taking over. You know what we should do next time? Or I guess Dad's coming over today, but the next time we have him over, I don't think we should go to a movie. It's just like, the movie kind of thing is kind of fun, but you're not really hanging out with somebody when you go to see a movie in a theater.
It's true.
Unless you're an asshole and you decide to talk through the movie.
Well, and at which point, everyone in the movie is very justified in beating the shit out of you.
Yes. No,
I'm kidding, that's
we shouldn't
aggressive.
even say that.
Let's stop with that out there. People will do it.
So careful. Like, no matter how much someone pisses me off, in my real life, I'm never gonna give their full name to our fans, because it doesn't matter what they've done. There are unstable people out there who will take it way too far. So like, you have to be really careful.
You can't trust what they're gonna do either.
No. And that's not an insult on the viewers. It's just that there's always gonna be that vocal minority. Jesus, this is hard.
Well, I think what I need to do is I need to just start just bombing the fuck out of him, because he's hiding. He's hiding like a bitch. You hear that? I'm coming for you, Shigan.
You'll be hiding like a bitch.
Okay, what is this? Do we have shrapnel grenade? Sure.
Why not?
And now my explosives has actually gone up since last time, so every... Oh, I can land on this. Nice. Whee! Yeah, now that my explosives has gone up, it's gonna give me an advantage.
Lovely. That's probably all I had. That's all I had ready to go.
Lovely.
No, for conversation-wise, is Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Well, I mean, I actually saw a really interesting video about the Joker the other day.
Yeah.
It's the theory that there's 3 Jokers. I don't know if that means there's 3 Jokers actually in Batman's world, as in 3 different people. But the way the Joker is shown in the comics, the original Joker is like Jack Nicholson's, if you've ever seen it. Yeah. He's a murderer, he's twisted, he's the one who will do all the poison glass and people locked into smiles like him and stuff like that.
Ooh.
So he's that kind of Joker. Then they went into this really weird censorship phase of comic books, and the Joker turned into this weird whimsical thief. Right? You know, there was the Joker that uses the buzzer, and the Joker that uses the water shooter flower.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So all those kinds of things, and all he does is really rob people. So that was that's the second Joker, and there's a movie for that one too. But ultimately the idea is that there really is only 3 Jokers in general. It's not that that's just how they've been portrayed. Because when you look at the movies, there's 3. There's Heath Ledger's, there's Jack Nicholson's, and then there's the one other, which was sort of the whimsical one.
I don't remember that Joker at all.
Which one?
I don't even know who that is. I'm pretty sure there is a 3rd Joker.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was, but it's a much older movie, much older.
Dude, have you seen the black and white Batman movies?
Black and white?
They are so fucking funny.
I didn't even know there was black and white ones.
Yeah, there's one where Batman is flying the Batcopter, and Robin is on a ladder attached to he's at the very bottom of a rope ladder attached to the helicopter. And for some reason the helicopter dips, and the ladder, the rope ladder and Robin go underwater because they're over the ocean. And it's a second, and when he comes back out, he's got a fucking tiny shark on his leg, just holding on, and he's just like, "Oh no, Batman!"
That's hilarious.
And then Batman fucking hands him the shark repellent.
Okay, yes, that might be the TV show though.
Yeah,
yeah,
I think it was.
Could be.
Oh my god, it was so funny.
Well, I don't actually know. Maybe it was the TV show that the final Joker was from. But the idea is that the 3 Jokers we've seen, there's Jack Nicholson, the other guy, and Heath Ledger, those are the only 3. Which means that if this theory's correct, that means Jared Leto has to be playing one of those 3 styles.
Jared Leto has already taken that that role pretty seriously.
I figure he's gonna be a Heath Ledger type Joker just because of what we've heard already.
I've heard his voice from the trailers, and it sounds like he's taken a Heath Ledger approach to the voice. It's got that weird, like, almost like there's something wrong with his mouth.
Which it kind of is.
Yeah. So someone who's brilliant who did that extraordinarily well is Tom Hardy as Bane. What a perfect voice to...
Yo, they're fighting the Los Muertos.
That's fantastic. That's a really cool gun flash. I like that. I love how he managed to get a voice that emulates someone who's had some sort of mouth injury, but is equally terrifying. Like, the first time I heard Bane's voice, well, okay, first of all, they leveled it so poorly. And Hollywood's usually pretty bad at audio levels for the average person. They assume you're sitting in some sort of, like, perfectly quiet room where you're not going to bother neighbors or roommates or something with loud noises. So you constantly have to turn the knob back and forth. But with Bane, his voice is like 5-6 decibels higher than everyone else in the movie. It's so fucking silly.
Really?
Yeah, dude. And in the theaters, it was like unbearable to hear. Like, he was like booming in my ear. I could barely handle it. It's like they're assuming everyone that watches movies now is destroyed their ears with earbuds.
Destroyed their ears with movies.
Yeah, with other loud movies. Like, the first thing he says is just like, it's like, ah! And the original IMAX version, that was a fun, well, that was a lot of audio. My apologies to anyone listening to headphones, or with headphones.
Watch this.
Oh, nice. Nice! Woo! In the original IMAX trailers, he was even less audible.
Really? Like
it
harder to hear as in more muffled?
Yeah, more muffled. Like, most people, when they try to do the voice, they put their hands over their mouth like this. It's more like, it goes from this to being like this. It's just like, holy shit. It's like, what are you saying? Same with Kylo Ren. The first few things that Kylo Ren says are kind of hard to hear. Because you have to...
Hey, help me up!
You kind of have to adjust to the way he speaks. And then they even
I don't actually remember Kylo Ren being that bad.
They even make a joke about it. Like, Oscar Isaac's first, like, one of the first things he says, he's like, I'm sorry, I can't understand you with that thing on your face.
Wearing the mask.
That's funny. That was what I like about The Force Awakens, is that it had a lot of jokes, but they weren't like, it wasn't like them saying, "Hey, look, a joke." It was just like a genuinely just like a comical moment. Like, it begins with Kylo's just looking at him, and Oscar Isaac is being held by other stormtroopers, and they're just sitting there silently, and then Oscar Isaac says, "So, do I talk first? Do you talk first? How does this work?" Like, that little moment is like it's just genuinely funny. It's not really a joke.
Yeah, there's a certain amount of humor that is like in the real world.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that happens all the time, man. Because I talk to strangers every single day.
I talk to strangers.
Is it a song?
I don't know. It is now.
And I talk to strangers every single day.
I mean, it kind of sounds like a Ninja Sex Party song. Doesn't it?
What'd you say?
Sounds like a Ninja Sex Party song.
It does.
Like, I talk to strangers? Like, it just seems like such a ridiculous idea. Oh, yes, now I have the ground slam. Yeah.
This may be the first time that it was not obvious that I ended the episode.
Oh.
Did you not hear me?
No.
Sorry, we were talking over each other. That's okay. Thank you for joining us. We were both talking at the same time, and then I sang it. And, it's okay. It's fine.
See.
It's fine. If you want to just counter everything I do as a human being, that's fine. That can be our brotherly relationship.
That can be what we do.
We don't have to be friends all the time.